Hello, good evening, and welcome, Pilipintados, to the first Usap TADO podcast of 2025. Uh, it's me, Admin Juice, here alone, and without the other admins. So it's going to be me today. And of course, we have our very special guest, Miss Cara of Carabao Chronicles. Everyone, please welcome her. Please give her a warm welcome, a warm round of applause. Uh, and yeah, welcome everyone. So we're a bit late. We're a bit we didn't start our Usaptado podcast on January or February. Well, no, on it is February, but it's almost March. So I'm gonna count this as a March podcast, right? So we're here now. Guys, it's been quite a while since our previous podcast. No, holiday went through, January went through, February is almost over. Grabe, it's like time flies, right? Time flies. So in that amount of time, no, I'm pretty sure a lot of us have gone through our hobby progress over that span of time. I certainly have. I know some of you have, right? You can type down in the comments below if you want what it is that you guys are currently working on. Since I'm all by my lonesome as an admin, let me start things off by saying I've been painting um, predominantly miniatures for Marvel Crisis Protocol over the past couple of months, several months, exclusively almost Marvel Crisis Protocol. Over the past couple of weeks, I've actually been painting up some X-Men miniatures. Finished Thanos. I finished some Spider Folk, but right now I've been painting a lot of X-Men, a lot of X-Men stuff. Right now, actually, I am painting. Not sure if you can see her. There we go. I'm painting Jean Grey right now for the X Men. So I hope to finish her up soon because I really want to start running X Men for my no for my Marvel Crisis Protocol Marvel Crisis Protocol games, right? I want to throw this question off to you, Cara, since you're
Oh,
here with us right now in Pilipicados. Kind of want to ask, what are you working on? Are you working on a miniature right now, or are you working on any art related stuff right now?
so art related stuff. Currently, I've been getting back into drawing again, if that's related. And I've been actually just jotting up my own little manga that I've been doing for funsies.
Oh, dang, you do manga. That's cool.
Ah, yes, I do. Am I good at it? Questionable, but I try.
That's great. Well, although this is predominantly for miniature painting, art of all walks of art. I don't know how to phrase my sentences. All works of art are welcome in this space as well. So once again, Kara, thank you so much
Oh,
for
thank you.
for joining us today. And I realize that this is a very special time for you because this we are coming up to the launch of your book of the Lost Ones from the Mounds. So before anything else, maybe do you want to kind of introduce yourself to our audience, to the Philippine Data's audience?
Okay, well, hello, Pilipintados audience and others. So, my name is Cara Funa, and I'm the CEO and founder of Carabao Chronicles, and I'm also the author of The Lost Ones of the Mount. And just a little bit about myself. So, a lot of my focus goes into TTRPGs as I am a specialist on that. So, I work along between like as scale from DMing for people professionally all the way up to like giving game development consultations for specifically TTRPGs. So, yeah, that's a little bit about myself.
I see. So TTRPGs are really kind of like your bread and butter, no? Well, what
Exactly.
what TTRPGs are you mainly into, or do you mainly play?
Oh, so I really enjoy Starfinder first edition because I haven't touched second edition. Is that even out yet? D&D 5e 2014 because
Mm.
I'm too lazy to touch 2024 and also Pathfinder second edition.
Mm. I see. All right. Well, I know you seem pretty. I know you seem very well versed. You seem very like really deep into the whole TTRPG kind of
Mhm.
rabbit hole. Would you call it a rabbit hole?
It
No,
is
I
a
mean for
rabbit
most of us,
hole.
it is. It is a rabbit hole. No, are you mainly a RPG player, or are you like some of us, some unfortunate patrons, me, eternal DM, as one would say?
Unfortunately, so I am an eternal DM, and yes, for the past 6 years, it hasn't really improved since then.
Yeah, F's. F's in the chat, everyone. Please F in the chat. F. We all, man, that sucks,
Mm,
right? Like you want to play, and then people are like, "No, can you DM?" Like, I want to play, but alas, such is the fate for eternal DMs.
exactly, but it's
Uh,
okay. You can pretend to play with yourself or something.
that is true. You can't technically make up you are making up your own scenarios. So you know you can flub certain roles and be like, oh no, that actually happened in my favor because you don't see what I'm rolling. Again, I mean, not say you have to be dishonest, but hey, whatever works in your campaign,
Exactly.
diba? Malay natin.
True.
So okay, right. So well versed into RPGs, and now this is yours, right? This is now your little this is your own release. This is your own TTRPG story campaign that you guys are doing. So, um,
Mm,
let me pull up an image, or at least kind of how the fee how it all kind of looks like, so that people see kind of how things are supposed to look, right? So let me
mm,
share
for sure.
my share the screen right here. Uh, Hope everyone can see that. Ayun. Hello. Can everyone see that? Is it loading? Is it still loading? I think it's still loading.
I think it's still loading.
It is indeed still loading. There is that spinning thing. Uh, Come on, load. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. There we go. So this is it. This is
All
your
right.
book. This is your book.
Yes.
Look at this. You can see the straw hats. You can see the straw hats. You can see the long Bakunawa person. You can see the uh cavernous background and everything. No, so all right. Let's actually ask you something about this, right? Without delving
Okay.
too much into spoiler territory, because you guys have to realize it's also a book, right? So, can you give us kind of a brief overview of The Lost One of the Mounds?
All right. So The Lost Ones of the Mounds is actually based somewhat a bit on my story as a third culture kid. And our main character here, as you can see, front and center is Alima Bughao. And she's a magical Bakunawa elementary student who's exploring her first days in elementary school. So, but the issue is she wants to make friends for her birthday party, but she can't really find people like her as she's only surrounded by duende folk in this whole city.
So, throughout this entire thing, it's just literally her. Like she's the only one of her kind. Oh, she's the only one of her kind in this place.
Exactly.
Ooh, that's a kind of a. I hesitate to say fish out of water. This is a bakunawa out of water, but that's a bit on the nose for me to say. And then okay, so um, that's the kind of brief overview, and I'm sure people are gonna find out more as they um actually read the book and actually uh
Mhm.
get into the TTRPG that comes attached. So let's go. Let's talk about that. That TTRPG. There is a TTRPG attached to this book, right?
Exactly.
Does it contain like um does it follow the events of the book? Like, do you play as the characters in the book itself, or do the characters get to create their own? Do the players get to create their own characters and kind of take part in the world of the Lost One of the Mounds?
That's a good question. So the TTRPG attached to it, the Field Trip of Forgotten Paths, actually plays as an epilogue to the Lost
Hmm.
Ones of the Mounds. So, in the setting here, you can either be an elementary student if you'd like, or maybe a teacher, or maybe a chaperone in the setting. Integrate yourself however you like, but you get to meet the main characters in the story. So, you get to meet Alima, Dakil, and Ida, and you get to explore your very first field trip throughout the caverns of Punso.
Oh, okay. So you actually do create your characters, and you get to meet you get to meet the main characters of the book. So I assume if I'm going to get into it, should I have read the book beforehand, or can I like go in and be like kind of have loose knowledge of what happened, or is it better if people kind of read the book first?
Well, it's nice if you read the book, of course.
Of course,
So,
obviously.
at least if you get to know how the main characters are like. But honestly, the TTRPG module also stands as its own individual entity. Like you can play it without even knowing the story, but it helps you to like get a feel of the setting a bit more.
Mm-hmm.
But this is still fantasy, so the ballpark is
Mm.
yours.
Can you kind of give us like maybe a sneak preview as to what sorts of like I guess races or classes you can play as in this in the RPG itself?
Oh, for sure. So you can definitely play any of the core classes from D&D 5e, but we also have come up with some special sub-races that are Filipino-based. So you can play as a Bakunawa, like a Lima, as you can see. You can play
Mm-hmm.
as a Duende, like the Keel, or even if you want, there's more unique races, like you can play as a Encanto or even a
Wow.
Galura.
What's a Galura?
So a Galura is like a Garuda, but Filipino. It's like this
Oh,
magical bird folk.
also bird person. Oh, okay. Uh,
Exactly.
that's interesting. I've never like duende bakunawa. These are terms that people who are into at least in the pop culture Filipino mythology would know, but I've never heard of no, I've never heard of that. The no the bird person. So that's interesting. That like man, I didn't know that. So it's interesting how people can kind of learn more about aspects of Philippine mythology that they might not, have heard of before. So that's very interesting, especially since it's like targeted towards kids, no?
Oh, thank you. So that's the main goal. And, if you play the Field Trip of Forgotten Paths, my goal is that you get to learn a bit of snippets of pre
Mm.
colonial Philippine history too, hopefully.
Ah, okay. So it's modern because I'm looking at they're kind of wearing modern school uniforms, right? So it's modern.
Mhm.
Is it modern? Is it like set? When is it set, basically?
So, in my world, it's
Mhm.
set in the city of Punso, which is like a modernized world already. So, unlike D&D where you have no toilet paper,
Mhm.
at least you have the advances in technology here. But the module itself is agnostic. So, if you want to throw it into Forgotten Realms or maybe um I believe there was a Filipino core rule book for a setting, you can throw it there because
Mhm.
it's essentially set in an island that's shrouded with magical mist. It's like Japan,
Oh,
like a little bubble
oh,
nation.
indeed, yeah.
Hmm.
So it's its own special setting. It's its own like part of. It can be part of no. It can be part of the Forgotten Realms. It can be part of. I don't know the other realms. I usually create my own, so I'm just gonna be like, yes, it can be part of this. It can be part of that. No. um. So
Definitely.
it's based on no. It's based on the system at least. It's based on the 5E system.
Hmm. That's right.
Mm,
Because it's like the most easiest or the it's like an introductory system, right? For many people to get into TTRPGs because
that's
you'll
true.
not get started how complicated others are in comparison.
That is true. That is true. Like it's the even though there are some people out there who might argue that oh no, 5E it's like the newbie system. It's like the casual, normie system. But then everyone it's easy for that's why it's the easiest for people to get into because they see it and they're like, hey, most marketing. It's the most kind of well known. Even though I'm pretty sure a lot of people out there, and myself included, want to encourage people to play different types of RPGs. It's good that this is as accessible as possible, so that people can get into the story
Mhm.
without worrying too much about mechanics. Can get into the characters as well, which I think is very important because the characters are what really will make this campaign, will make this story, work and wheel on. No, now, so well, speaking of the characters, right? Um,
Mhm.
you guys have the um, I want to say the special what do you call what's the term? Special not privilege, distinction. There we go. Distinction. Words,
Mhm.
Joshua. Words. You guys have the special distinction of releasing a Filipino themed RPG supplement that has miniatures. Pilipindados, that's where we come in. We do miniatures.
Exactly.
Miniatures are great. So let me kind of open the images that I have here, all of the miniatures that come that will be available during the launch date. So we have here some of the 3D sculpted miniatures that'll be available. No, that the people who will be going to the launch day can actually pick up for themselves and paint at their own leisure. We have some renderings here of some of the characters. No, so I kind of
Mhm.
want to go through them one by one, and can you give me a bit of an overview on these characters because I think this is what a lot of us, especially here, kind of want to know about. All right, so let's start with this little fella, this cross-armed little guy. Who is this person? Who is this character?
So this little guy, his name is Dakil. He is a duende, and perhaps he's like the bad boy in the
Mm.
story. So he's like too cool for anything, and he finds a very unique sense of humor.
So he thinks he's too cool. He's short. So he's a short king, basically. He's a short king.
Exactly. He's just a short king.
Yes. All my love to the short kings in the audience right now. So that's him, right?
Hmm.
And then let's check out another character here as well. Who is this?
All right. So this one is Ida. So what's unique about her? She's actually half human and half duende. So just her background, her mom is an albulario and her dad is a adventurer.
Like a
So
duende
she's
adventurer.
exactly like a duende adventurer.
That's adorable. The scale, the scaling in my head. I'm like, mom, dad, cute.
Yeah, so it's like definitely a short queen, a short king and his tall queen.
Of course, as one does. So what's no, what's she like? Can you give me like a kind of a what's her place in this world? Like, well, what's her thing with the main character and the world around her.
So she's like the best friend of the main character, and she has like a very sweet and soft spoken personality. And she's usually quite passive as a character, but you'll see how she develops throughout the story.
It's interesting to me that um now that we kind of mentioned now that you kind of mentioned the fact that she's a half duende excuse me, you kind of mentioned that she's half duende, and considering that humans, I assume, are normal size, like how we view humans to be in our world, and the duende size, I assume then there's going to be kind of size mechanics that'll kind of play into in the RPG itself, or I assume there will be.
Oh, there definitely will be. And just a fun fact, in the elementary school where it takes place, Alima's like 4 foot. That's like a normal size for a first grader, while everyone's like half her size.
Oh gosh, yeah, wow, yeah, yep. There you go, man. So everyone's like, "Oh, tiny," and she's like, "Ooh, tall person." Lots of tall persons.
Exactly.
And I guess that she inherited more of her dad's size over her mom's full human features. So humans can go to the school. Can they go to the school?
Yeah, anyone can go to Punso Elementary School. It's just so rare for, humans to go underground for their schooling.
Ah, I see. All right. Well,
Mhm.
yeah, that does kind of make sense, especially if it's like, modern day, and like, not many people are in tune with the nature aspect or the mythological aspect as they were way back in the day. So that'll make a very interesting and a very interesting um, dynamic with the world. Now let's go to arguably the main character, and unfortunately, she doesn't seem to have a head in this one.
Not
Uh,
yet.
Not yet. So, you know, uh, hopefully your artist or sculptor gets to, gets to render it para makita natin
For
kasi
sure.
yeah. So give me the backstory, a brief backstory on your main character itself.
All right. So our main character, Alima. So she was born and raised in Punso, which is pretty much like I don't believe I mentioned is a Duende society. So
Mm,
she's a third culture kid because at home she understands her Bakunawa culture and background, but when she steps outside, the culture she grew up around are, Duende folk or of
yeah.
Duende folk. So she has like a bit of a meld between those two cultures and a bit about her. She's very optimistic. She's a bit of a dreamer, more louder than
Mm,
Ida, for sure, and a little temperamental.
I see. There's some man because I can't help but think about like her background as a Bakunawa and kind of my knowledge, and I'm pretty sure like the audience that'll
Mhm.
be playing and reading this, they kind of have already their preconceived notions of how a Bakunawa is and acts from all the legends. So it's kind of making me
Mhm.
wonder now, is she going to have a special relationship with the moon? Is she going to have a special relationship with the idea of pots and pans and loud noises? You don't need to answer me. That's what
Okay,
people are going
okay.
to read and find out about and eventually play around, right? You don't have to tell
Mhm.
me. So yeah, and it'll be up to you guys who will pick up the book and read it. Uh, no, that sort of stuff will happen. But I'm sure you guys have, that you have kind of put that into consideration, like um, the aspects of them. I mean, there is a literal dwarf society, so obviously yes. So I kind of want to. I'm kind of really eager to see how that plays out. No,
For sure. So you'll have to definitely read it to know it.
definitely yes. So here I want to share I want to share the art renders, the art itself that's on your page here of the three main characters. That is so cute. Oh my god, Dakil, bro, I feel you. I'm I'm personally not a short king, but I feel you, bro. I feel you. Ida, oh man, Ida's so cute too. Yeah, and yeah,
Yeah, I
I
love them.
really,
They're my babies.
I really like I really like this style and this design of them. So definitely a lot taller, definitely a lot taller. See, Alima compared to all of them. Um,
Mhm.
so she's I know she's new to this place, I assume, right? New to this whole
Mhm.
school, this whole society she finds herself in. And again, don't need to give me spoilers or anything, but um, I'm really interested to see like how she got there, or like how she reacts to the world around her, especially because I don't really have a background with being kind of a um, well I mean I kind of do being the whole fish out of water thing, but especially coming from
Mm.
a culture that's very different from your own, that's going to be interesting for me to kind of see through the lens of this character. Um, so going back to the uh, design of the characters and the three sculptors themselves. Um, could you maybe shout out the character designer and the sculptor of these characters if you can, because I'd
Oh,
love
of
to
course.
yeah.
So definitely follow LJ Almonte. God bless her for tolerating me in the making of this book to design these. And also, our sculptor is Francesca Dolorito. So she's the one who made the models thus far. Hopefully, Alima will be soon released for the audience to see. But they made an
Yes.
amazing job so far.
Yeah, they really did. I really like these designs. I really like the sculpts as well. So these miniatures will be available during the launch event, no? Do
Exactly.
the so the people who will be joining, what do they get basically when they join the specifically the miniature painting and the miniature painting demo? What will they be getting?
So, what they'll be getting, aside from the great instruction from Philippine TADOs to lead this little workshop, um, they get to choose their own mini if they want Alima, Dakil, or Ida. And then what's more is that they get some drink and snacks to go with it, and also some painting materials, I believe. Is that right? We're going to
That
add
is
that
right. Yeah,
in?
we'll be providing the brushes, we'll be providing the paints as well, the palettes for people to use, water, all of that good stuff. Kami na bahala dun. So they'll be getting to pick. They'll be picking a character, from the book. Um,
Exactly.
yeah. So that's why I told you behind the scenes. Hopefully, we get the miniatures soon, so I can paint up the mock-ups now.
Yes, I'm trying to rush my sculpture as much as possible. Pero
No
ano,
pressure.
aside, I'm trying. But aside from that, for every ticket sale that we have, we're hoping to also donate a book of the Lost Ones of the Mounds to some prospective libraries or charities or schools around the Philippines to help promote literacy too. So
That's very
another
sweet.
incentive.
That's very sweet of you
Thank
guys.
you.
That's really nice. I know. So this is very another. So because you're giving this to libraries and charities and whatnot, and kind of going back to the idea, the theme of the book and of the campaign of it being set in a school and society, the main characters are all students. I assume this is a very going to be a very family friendly slash my
Mhm.
first RPG sort of release. Would you say would you say that?
Exactly. It very much is.
So it's not gonna be like naman the different themes and the different like
Mhm.
um kind of plots that other RPGs will have, or like other RPG campaigns will have. Now there's a sort of grittiness, there's sort of a you know
Mhm.
quote unquote realism to it, but this one is marketed towards the children, to families. So why did you decide to go with that in your foray into making this TTRPG?
So, actually, when I've been working as a professional dungeon master, I've noticed that a lot of my clientele are dads, and they would bring their children from little kids to their teenagers to play TTRPGs. But the thing is, some modules are not appropriate for
Yeah,
people who are
yeah.
younger, right?
Mm.
Like, even if you think it is, Curse of Strahd, I think that's a bit questionable for a 6-year-old.
Yeah, yeah, man, I've never ran RPGs with kids. Oh no, I have once. I've ran an RPG for kids once, but I had to
Mhm.
tone it down significantly
Exactly.
because there are things, there are certain words and certain activities that you guys shouldn't know about until you're like 10,
Mm,
right? So
right.
I feel it. I get you.
Mhm.
Um, have you right now? I assume, have you guys kind of tested this with like a test audience or a test campaign with maybe your friends or family or whatnot?
Oh, so I have some other DMs, specifically from Unusual Guild and
Mm.
some friends from RD3 who play tested it. So far, it's all good. After a bit of iterations I had to go through, so at least
Okay.
there's a
Well,
lot of excitement.
but that's good. At least there's that positive reaction that you got from your test players for this. How long is the campaign usually?
So, kids don't have a long attention span. So this is for like around 2 hours, to be honest. Because I know kids have the tendency to skip a lot of things when they play a game. So
I mean, you and I have played enough RPGs to know that even adults don't have very good attention spans.
exactly.
So,
I'm like, don't you want to
so this will
investigate
be
that?
perfect. This will be perfect for them. Oh, I'm sorry. Real quick, our one of our other
Mhm.
admins, Louis, is here on chat, and he says, "Hello, what's up, everyone?
Hello.
Hello, Louis. Hi,
Hi.
man. Really sad you couldn't make it, but hey, it's fine. You do you, my guy. Ayun. But yes, great, Nana. Great that attention spans of all generations and I guess all walks of life will be easily addressed and easily kind of brought into this whole into the campaign, right? Um,
Right.
Now, before we end up, I kind of want to go through all the images because you and I have shared images of, or you've sent me images of the different characters that
Mhm.
are not exact like that appear. No, we're not gonna go into heavy spoiler territories, but I just kind of
Mhm.
want to show this off because when I saw the art, I'm like, this is legit good art. This is cute. I love the concept, and I really want to share this if you'll allow me with the with our audience right now. Um,
Well, please go
fir-
ahead.
First thing I want to show, and this is kind of special to me because I like birds. Okay, I really like birds. So who is this dashing individual wearing a barong?
Oh my goodness. First, shout out to Aylor Azusano. So, Art of Aylor, check him out. He made all of these beautiful art for the TTRPG. But this guy, his name is Mr. Ibon, and he is a very dashing and eloquent museum curator.
He's a museum curator. That's so cute.
Exactly.
Oh my god. So Uh, what is his species? What is his I don't know, what is his yeah, what's his race?
So he is a Galura, and he's actually one of the parrot species found in the Philippines called the Philippine hanging parrot.
You had me at parrot, man. I love birds, dude. I love parrots. I was with my girlfriend last week. We went to the biodome in Manila Ocean Park,
Oh,
and there were parrots, and we could pet them, and we could hold them, and we're like, it's almost like Providence. It's almost like I was there last week, and I'm here this week talking about parrots again. So yay!
beautiful.
That's just amazing. I love that he's a curator. I love that he's a person of intellect, a person of refinedness of refined intellect. The suit
Exactly. He's
alone,
not
the
a bird
barong,
brain.
in yeah, it so again, not kind of delving into spoilers, but what does he curate exactly? What does he oh, sorry, that's too zoomed in. There we go. What museum does he work with in the story? Without going too heavy.
Okay, so definitely look into the module, but there's a museum actually found in the surface land of Punso. So there he curates and takes care of like historical items and artifacts that actually mirror a lot of items from Filipino history or pre-colonial history. So just a little spoiler I'll give. For example, you'll find a calice in his museum, for example.
Uh-huh.
So that's like the curvy sword thingy.
Okay, yes, yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, I see. And so he curates it. I assume he informs people about it. But
Exactly.
the idea of a bird having like a collection of curated stuff, it's just giving magpie energy. Like, haha, shiny, mine.
Exactly.
Yep, there you go. If and I need to shout this out. If my girlfriend is watching, she knows exactly that magpie energy I'm talking about. Anyway, I have to. Okay, so great to meet him. I can't wait to meet him in the game itself, no, and in the book itself, because he and I will get along 100%. But there's some other characters here that I kind of want to show as well. No, there's this other here we go. Who is this?
Oh, so I won't spoil her name, but she's a encanto and a spirit guardian you'll come into encounters with throughout the cave.
Ooh. Okay, yeah. You know what? I think that's a good kind of way to good kind of way not to give too much about it. But that she's an Encanto, right? And with
Exactly.
the kind of the stock knowledge that we have about Encantos, it kind of determine what we might perceive her to be. Obviously, we don't know who she is exactly at the moment,
Mhm.
but again, that's what the book's about. That's what the book is for, right? We read the book, we find out. So again, I
Exactly.
love this art. I love this art. I love I love this art. Again, the bird, 100%. This one especially. Your artists are amazing, dude. Swear.
They are, and what I love about the team is that majority of us are Filipino, all local here. So just really homage to our community and the artists here.
That is peak. That is some peak stuff. And then we also have here the arts of the main three characters as well. Oh, that is so
Exactly.
cute. Oh yeah, she is small. Yeah.
Yeah,
This is Ida.
that's right. So you can see how small she is.
Man, she's like how how tall is she supposed to be? Because like you mentioned, duendes are like 2 feet, right? So if like
Right.
so how small is the kill?
The keel is like 2 feet flat, to be honest.
Pure short king. All the power to you, short king. I love it. I love the
Exactly.
shrug. I love the b boy arms crossed, like no one messes with me.
Exactly. He has a lot
Love
of
that.
that energy.
Is the mushroom he's wearing on his head a reference to a locally grown mushroom?
To be honest, I have no clue for what the artist used for the mushroom. Probably, I think, because we see, these types, kabute,
Mm,
the
mm. I mean, it
something
would make sense.
something.
Yeah, I mean, it would make sense to, it'd be cool to kind of find out. Now I kind of want to find out the culture of find out more about the culture, like why they have mushrooms on their heads. Like, I, I don't think I've read that I may not be very well versed, so I might not. I don't really know why they would have mushrooms on their heads, but I guess yeah, we'll find out. No, but again, I
For
love this
sure.
design. I love his look. I love the expression on his face. I love his pose. It really gives that short king energy. Really gives that um, uh, the character archetype that really comes to mind. No, and
Hmm.
yeah, really enjoy that. And finally, let's look at the main character of the story. We have Alima herself. Look at her.
Exactly.
Look at her. She's so precious.
And the
Wow, dude,
tallest.
dude, I love the detail on her scales.
So he
I,
really captured that sea dragon esque, I felt, seeing that.
yeah, and I like I like the iridescence, like the rainbowy kind of sheen on top of the scales. That's really neat.
Exactly.
Do they explain, or do you guys explain why she's a bakunawa on her two legs and not swimming in lake?
There's some reasons why that will be
Okay.
mentioned on how she ended up with the Duende folk.
Okay. All right. All right.
Mhm.
I will find that out myself this March now. And okay.
Exactly.
So finally, this there's this one piece of art that I you showed me like just a few minutes, couple of like an hour ago when we were talking, and I fell in love with it because of how whimsical it looks, how silly it looks. But I'm like, yeah, this can work. 100% can work. Everyone, check this out. Look at this. Load, please. Don't leave me. There we go. Look at this, guys. People watching. Check this out. It is a jeep calesa being pulled by a duende, being pulled by two rats. Bro, come on. And it's like small because it's like you can see the rock house and the grass and the giant leaf. That is yo.
The artist went ham when he was making this, to be honest.
Yeah, he kind of did. And dude, it's this is great. I would love to see, or at least like go through more of these kind of mishmash of modern and traditional culture, and just the surrealness, the whimsy and surrealness of it in the book, in the campaign when it shows up. Because, dude, man, this is the kind of stuff I want to play. This is the kind of stuff that I like seeing visual cues of, right? Um,
Mm.
Especially like the very Pinoy jeepney vibes of having a painting on the side of your jeepney, right? I mean, you've seen the craziest kinds of paintings you'd see in jeepneys across Manila, across the Philippines. Like one moment
Mhm.
you'd have like Yusuke from Eugene from Ghost Fighter, and then biglang he's with Elsa, and then biglang he's with Goku, and then oh look, it's for some reason the orc logo from Warhammer or whatever. And,
Yeah,
and
or you'll find the whole Hello Kitty jeepney too
yeah,
passing by.
right? And it's like very well rendered, and I like seeing that that's reflected here as well. The very well rendered jeepney art. That's really cool to see. So ayun,
I'm glad.
I'm expecting a lot of this. I'm expecting more of this mishmash of the modern and the traditional, the mythological, elements of our culture here in the Philippines. No, now um,
Sure.
we kind of only have a couple of minutes left before our little podcast here ends. Now, so before we end, are there a couple of things that you want to say to our audience? Kind of, stuff to promote if you want, um, and kind of last message for people who are thinking about getting into the campaign and especially reading your book.
All right. So, first and foremost, for the self plug, definitely, if you want to meet me in person, you can actually see me on March 15th and 16th at the Philippine Book Festival at Mega Mall at 12 noon. So, I'll be there signing The Lost Ones of the Mounds, and you might have some little goodies if you meet me there.
And guys, so you can see on the screen the details of the Philippine Book Festival 2025 happening in SM Mega Mall, right?
Exactly. So it'll be at the Mega Trade Center, I believe.
Mega Trade Center in SM Mega Mall. That's great. Here's the other half.
Mm.
There you go. Hey,
Yes,
that's a
that's me.
familiar face. Hey, all right. So that's on the 15th and the 16th. Then ayun. So because usually, like, I don't if I recall correctly, I maybe think of another book fair. Oh wait, you know what? I was thinking of the
Oh,
Manila International Book Fair, not the Philippine Book Fair. But okay, that's it's iba pala. But ayun, so catch her this March 15 to 16 at the Philippine Book Festival 2025 to get your copy signed as well. You're doing signings,
exactly.
right? Yeah,
Right.
doing
So
signings
I'll
and
be at oh, so I'll
yeah.
be at booth number 2 with 8 letters, bookstore and publishing. So you can see me there.
All right, sige. And of course, other than just the book signing, you also have the actual event itself. So for everyone who is gearing to go to join us, make sure to drop by this March and this March 29 here at Millas Hostel and Cafe here in QC. Join us
Right.
for
So come along. It'll be starting from 10 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. So we don't only have miniature painting sessions, but also you can play the TTRPG and you might host if you come there.
sige. And again, mini fans, this is going to be a once in a lifetime event where a TTRPG locally produced will also have its own line of miniatures for you guys to get exclusively at the event. That's be great because it's going to be one of the first times that I can say or any of us can say na hey, this is from a Filipino campaign and it's a Filipino character based on Philippine mythology, and that's amazing that we're able to do that nowadays with the work of Kara and her team, her amazing artists, her amazing 3D sculptor and renderers, and her team. Like, just in general, it's a great time to be in, great world to be in, and great world to play through eventually. So, Kara, please, miniatures. I want to paint these guys already. I really want to paint
Okay.
them.
We'll be sending them soon for sure.
Sige, sige. Because what most likely I'm gonna do is I'm gonna paint a really kind of high quality version, right? And then I'm gonna also paint a demo miniature for the class so that they can follow along as I paint as they paint along with me for the characters. But yun, Kara, thank you so much. To the entire team of Carabao Chronicles, thank you so much for being part of our first TADO podcast, no, our USAP TADO podcast of 2025. It's a definite honor for you guys to be here, joining us. To the rest of the TADOs, thank you so much for watching. We will catch you at her book launch and her TTRPG event this March. And happy painting, everyone. And may your paints ever be thin, and may you always roll crits. Thank you, everyone. Bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.